Ми діти роду козацького, ми.
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's Ron Kohut with Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
We're Cossack children of history.
Here we are at the Allstream Center, which is tonight, I guess, the Plast Center. And introduce yourself to our television world so they all know who you are.
Hi, good evening. My name is Victor Korotki, and I've been with Blast for quite some time now.
Like 100 years?
At least 100 years.
Well, the reason we're interviewing Victor and I know one another from Uno, and his kids dance with the Novia, etc. But Victor's, your children and you?
Yes.
Built the Brahma. You can't have a Plast function without a Brahma. I don't think they built an outdoor bathroom, but the Brahma is, and did you steal somebody's birch tree?
Well, actually, the story was Mr. Haras went across the street and chopped down the birch.
Somebody else's?
But it was somebody else's, but it was with their authority.
So he actually went and chopped down somebody's birch tree?
Моя жінка Ганя була в Пласті.
That must have been
It's a
good Christmas
mixed-
dinners, huh?
A mixed marriage,
Yes.
and
See, mixed marriage doesn't include religion or anything. It's when Sum and Plas get married. That's a mixed marriage.
it was wonderful. Anyway, вона була в Пласті якийсь час, and so a lot of the girls that were with her in Plas called her up and asked her to come to this event, and that's why we're here, to support it.
It's quite an event. 100 years for Plas.
You have to be active in the community, you have to support the community, you have to be active, and I enjoy doing this, and that's why I'm doing it.
We have a 2-day event that we're planning on the occasion of the 100th anniversary. Figured one day wasn't enough, just as a baba and večer is one thing, but we have a brand new Dumilka that we want to show off, and we want to show people how our young people work and where they meet and everything else. So this event is one part of the equation, sort of a homecoming weekend in the style of a university event, you know.
Well, here I am with Darko Kowalik, and this is your function tonight, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm the stanishna of Toronto Plast, yes.
Wow. High-paying job?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I bet
all
it is, eh?
volunteer work,
Just
yes.
it costs its nerves and
Of course.
how long have you been? How long have you been at Plastunka?
I have been a Plastunka almost all my life, since
Good.
I was a little girl.
So that's 12 years old?
Of
12,
course.
14 years, something like that. And how's this? I heard that this function tonight is a sellout.
It is. We have 700 people, and we're all looking forward to a wonderful celebration of 100 years of Plast.
I was talking to Mike Shepedic, who's of course used to be big in Sum, and
Yeah.
at first he married a Plastunka, so I called him a social climber right off the top.
Wow.
Okay, and he was quite taken.
Tonight is a celebration of 50, 60 years of Plast in Toronto, 100 years of Plast worldwide. It's an organization built totally of volunteers. I don't know of too many other volunteer organizations that have lasted this 100 years.
Well, I mean, it's scouting. I mean, it's scouting,
yeah.
yes.
It's built on Baden-Powell's principles. It's got a Ukrainian element in it, a very strong Ukrainian element, and it keeps on pumping.
Крокуєм завзято тут кожен твій друг, у серці надія і віра свята, у діях непевні в нас воля тверда, будь іскрою і запали собою життя.
I believe Plast has a very interesting 100 years. It's the only scouting organization that for 80 years was without a country, its own country. It has, I believe, Plast has added to the Ukrainian community. It has helped it develop throughout these years, helped the Ukrainian nation to develop, especially in the 1920s, 1940s. The film is an overview of the history of Plast, and it points out some of the contributions that Plast members have made.
I was a producer and editor on this film, and we're coordinating also the work with the lab, and you know how it is. We needed to have some very good artists for the animation sequences, and also we needed to have good music composer, which we found at the last minute, and fantastic. So it's a great film. Old photographs, and we had to remove all the speckles, which took forever. We had to, correct the contrast and even out everything so it looks like it's one film.
I'm really grateful that Mr. Czurylowicz, a professional person, first of all agreed to do this film, and then he was very patient with me, helping me, because this was my first try, I believe, and he certainly helped me a lot, and I believe that together we've produced something very interesting.
How long have you been in Plost?
How long? 8 years? Longer?
9 years, maybe?
9 years, yeah.
Do you know what all these things are for?
Yeah.
Did you earn most of them, or
No, we
earn those?
This is a Ukrainian kind of plus leadership camp. And this is for the 100th year anniversary. This is 95th year anniversary. It kind of just goes on.
Yeah. They're just from different camps you go to, and you get one from each one.
Wonderful. You like Plost?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's great.
Good for you. Yeah, I was a scout all my life. Never in Plost, but I was a scout, and this is cool. Well, it's nice to see somebody walking around in uniform.
Yeah.
You know, suits and ties and evening gowns are nice, but you know, it's nice to see this. You know, Plost has always excelled at this kind of at elegance and grace, and not that the others haven't, but it's usually associated with Plost. And I am a scout. I never joined Plost or any of the organizations. I was scouting in Canada.
Right.
And
Well, we do send kids to scouting.
Oh, yeah,
in
it's
Canada
the same thing.
It's based on the same principles.
Baden Powell is still a part of it.
Baden Powell was the starter of scouting, and our Alexander Tisowski, started Plost based on Baden Powell's principles. So the difference between Plost and Scouts Canada is basically the fact that we've kept it in Ukrainian. And that is our main thing. We want to keep our programs in Ukrainian as much as possible.
I used to be a plastunka, so that's one of the reasons I'm here. And it's great to be here to see lots of my friends, former plastun friends, and some of my podruги and leaders. So a great evening, all in all.
Still know how to do the salute?
Yes, I almost forgot it, but somebody reminded me, so I'm getting good at it.
Ти пластун?
Так,
Вже давно?
я вродився пластуном.
I didn't know that. See, just shows you what, I don't get out very much.
Yeah, there's pictures of me here.
As a young man? Younger man?
A boy.
A boy? Holy smokes. Well, so you're going to have a good time tonight? Well, thanks for speaking with us. And again, well done on the program, and keep it up. And your role this evening?
My role is a Plost enthusiast.
Ти пластунка?
Я plastунka, yeah, born and bred. My dad was a plastun, is a plastun. My baba was a plastunka. And I'm just here to enjoy and celebrate 100 years of Plost. It's great seeing people young and old here, and looking forward to a commemoration of 100 great years. Сильно, красно, обережно, бистро. Обережно is my favorite.
Yeah, is it? Why, like I said before, I only know live long and prosper. I can't do scrub because I was a Boy Scout. But that's the same thing anyway, so...
Well, I just got as far as Druga Proba, and Zakidalska unfortunately threw me out for not carrying the баняки.
Oh.
Нам
It's always something with them, isn't
Yeah, well, хлопці нам помогли, and we said that it's not necessary for us to carry the баняки, на прогулянку. And she says, ти маєш нести. I go, why? She says, забирайся з табору. Okay. Пішла.
Do what you're told.
Tonight is a celebration of 100 years of Plost and around the world, but it's Toronto celebration, yes.
Which is the best one, right?
Of course, it's the largest станиця in the world, meaning the largest group outside of Ukraine. Yes.
That's wonderful. And tomorrow, of course, at the Domivka, we'll be there.
We have відкриті двері, which is open doors, homecoming for anybody who is interested in Plost, who wants to see what we do in our new premises.
Українська кредитова спілка пропонує вам безкоштовний семінар на тему RESP – Registered Education Savings Plans. Щоб записатися на цей семінар, зверніться до Юрія Дякунчака, телефон 416 763 55 75, екстеншн 208, не пізніше 27 листопада.
Ми діти роду козацького,
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's Ron Cahoot with Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
We're Cossack children. Ми діти роду козацького
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's Ron Kahut with Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
We're Cossack children of history.
Here we are at the Allstream Center, which is tonight, I guess, the Plast Center. And that must have been
It's a
good Christmas
mixed-
dinners, huh?
A mixed marriage,
Yes.
and
See, mixed marriage doesn't include religion or anything. It's when someone plus get married. That's a mixed marriage.
it was wonderful. Anyway, вона була в пласі якийсь час, and so a lot of the girls that were with her in Plus called her up and asked her to come to this event, and that's why we're here, to support it.
It's quite an event. 100 years for Plast.
You have to be active in the community. You have to support the community. You have to be active, and I enjoy doing this, and that's why I'm doing it.
We have a 2-day event that we're planning on the occasion of the 100th anniversary. Figured one day wasn't enough, just as a baba and večer is one thing, but we have a brand new.
You can't have a Plast function without a Brahma. I don't think they built an outdoor bathroom, but the Brahma is. And did you steal somebody's birch tree?
Well, actually, the story was Mr. Haras went across the street and chopped down the birch.
Somebody else's?
But it was somebody else's but it was with their authority.
So he actually went and chopped down somebody's birch tree?
Моя жінка Ганя була в
Introduce yourself to our television world so they all know who you are.
Hi, good evening. My name is Victor Krotki, and I've been with Plus for quite some time now.
Like 100 years?
At least 100 years.
Well, the reason we're interviewing Victor and I know one another from Uno, and his kids dance with the novia, etc. But Victor's, your children and you
Yes.
built the Brahma.